SFL season was a great success. The Forest Park Vikings won the championship again in the SFL. They beat the first year Gwinnett Jets, who went 10-2 that year, so they had a pretty good year. And the Jets were no slouch. They had 4 shutouts during that season. So this was their first year. And Forest Park had been to the championship 3 years in a row and won it this year. But that was last year. 2010 is going to be even bigger. I went down to the owners meeting. We've got new ownership groups. We've got women now. The Atlanta Hurricane, females, going to be running that organization. They're getting involved in the Southern Football League. The Gwinnett Jets are back. And then we're bringing a team. The Southern Football League is going to have a team in the Buckhead, Sandy Springs area. Can you believe that? Yep. They're going to be playing over there. That's going to be the Atlanta Chiefs, who ironically have Gwinnett Jets coach from last season, so kind of look for a little rivalry there. Why do I say that? Because every year the Southern Football League throws its classic game to get everybody together during the summer to kick the SFL season off. And this year, the Gwinnett Jets and the Atlanta Chiefs are going to play in that game. Something tells me it's going to be a little bit more than just a preseason opening game. Might be a lot of hits and stuff going on out there. I'm sure they're probably going to have the band out there, concessions out there, because the Southern Football League is going to make you feel at home. It's been around 31 years. Can you believe it? Minor league football in its purest form right here. We got a team out in South Carolina, the Barnwell Bulldogs. Excellent facility, excellent people, excellent community. They've been around. The Northeast Alabama Bengals. They were in Gaston, Alabama last year. They're going to be there again. Went over there and saw them. Of course, you got the stalwart Georgia Payne. They're always a factor. They beat Forest Park twice last year, by a total of 3 points. One game by 2 and one game by 1, but then couldn't beat them in the playoffs. It just shows you how tough it is out there. The new team coming in, the Fulton County Rams are coming in. And then you also got the Gwinnett Shield. The Shield was the only winless team last year, but they've revamped their entire coaching staff, their roster. They're actually going to be having tryouts at the Atlanta Silverbacks location. That's the soccer team. They've got a location up in Swanee. Speaking of training facilities, the Gwinnett Jets are going to be up in Cumming, which is up in Forsyth. They're going to be training there at the High Intensity Training Center. They named Oscar Dillard their head coach. Oscar Dillard has trained and mentored over 17 NFL players. He's won championships at the state and collegiate level as a player, and was the head coach at Westlake and Douglas High Schools here in Atlanta during the prime of their careers. He's got a football academy. They're going to be having camps. So just think, all of those Jets players are going to be training now under the tutelage of Oscar Dillard, who has a son that's also in the Gwinnett area. So his son, and plays football for Buford, his son is going to be talking about what his dad does. And just think about the buzz that that's going to have. And the Jets are going to be playing over at Berkmar High School again. Not too far from the city, not too far from the north. Great facility. Bleachers on both sides. The Berkmar staff is fabulous. Great place. And Berkmar traditionally isn't known as a football school. The Gwinnett Jets have kind of changed that. They hosted the SFL championship last year. This year they're gonna have the SFL Classic. So a lot of things going on right there in Gwinnett with Berkmar. Then down in Macon with the Georgia Payne. They played in Jones County this year. I just got off the phone with Coach D down there with the Payne. He's going to a meeting to meet with some people in Warner Robins, which is a neighboring town, for them to have a new stadium or a new field to play in. So just imagine the excitement around that. And then the Georgia Payne, Lewis Frazier, their leading linebacker. He was an SFL All-Star last year, made the trip down to New Orleans with the team. He is now the president of the Players Association. The SFL is getting serious. This is going to be the first year that they've had a Players Association. So can you imagine that the players are actually going to have a voice within the SFL with the owners to still be able to keep it competitive and fun? The Central Georgia Cowboys are going to be back. They had a couple of guys last year that played some very good ball. They fell on their face flat a couple of times, but they still showed up, and they actually played and hung with the Jets in the first playoff game in the first half. So they're going to be around. A lot of good things going on in the SFL. Every team next year has got some form of tryouts in February. I know the Shield are going to be trying out every single Saturday. The Gwinnett Jets are going to hold theirs on the 27th. The Players Association meeting is on the 20th. The marketing company is working on it. We're just working on a lot of things within the SFL to get excited about and build this buzz up. Just think, July 10th will be here before you know it. It'll be the Southern Football League Classic. You're going to have all the owners there represented. You're going to have the first year Atlanta Chiefs, And you're going to have the second year Gwinnett Jets playing to jump this thing off. And then to get this, the Jets' old coach is the coach of the Chiefs. I know I said that before, but I'm repeating it to you again because you can see there's going to be a little rivalry out there. And then the respect that he's going to have for Oscar Dillard and what he's able to pull in. We're also talking with Gwinnett Daily Post to get them out there to cover that game as well. So the Southern Football League Classic in July is going to kick off, and there's a lot of things coming before that that's got to make that a success. We send our information into minorleaguefootballnews.com, the semi-pro football headquarters. We're in touch with people out in the community. Last year, the Gwinnett Jets held 3 car washes at the Bojangles. Can you believe that? Also, I'm going to try and get youth league football teams out at the stadium. The Jets, they played at Burkmore last year. Do you know what they did? They had a game on Saturday. Burkmore's high school football team played on Friday. The entire Jet team went to that high school game before that. Just to thank them, and they practice on the same field. May not have had the best season, but you know what? The Jets are here to have your back. So there are a lot of things going on in the Southern Football League. Commissioner Mike Frazier is working with some top-notch people. This is going to be his 11th year as the commissioner. He's been a commissioner since 1999. And any information you need to know, www.southernfootballleague.net on the web. Click on it. Any of the information will be there. Anything new that pops up, you'll be able to click on the team helmets and go to their particular websites. You got the American, you got the National, you got 10 teams, 5 in each division. They're going to tussle it out this year for the 2010 SFL Championship. Will you be watching the SFL?